Hey guys, it's Melanie
and Anthony,
and we're with 405 Cigars in Scottsdale, Arizona.
F5. Woo-hoo. And we're here today to do something kind of fun and different. Melanie, why don't you fill them in on what we're going to be doing?
Well, we're going to read some of the questions that you guys sent in about just different things you have for us on cigars. So a lot of times people will ask me, like, what's my favorite cigar? What do I like to smoke? Just different questions like that. So I thought I'd gather some of the things that you guys ask all the time, and we'll read them.
So our first letter, who does it come from?
Okay, Anthony and Melanie. On your videos, we have heard you say things like that we don't know what it means. So please explain. What does BOTL mean?
Oh, BOTL is an acronym for Brothers of the Leaf. It's an organization or forum where a lot of cigar smokers, cigar geeks really, hang out. I mean, it's open to everybody, but a lot of cigar geeks are in there hanging out, which is awesome because that's what we are. So we like to go in there and hang out. So that's one of them.
Okay, what does SNS mean?
You should take this one because you're pretty much like the biggest cheerleader ever for it.
Hey. It means Saints and Sinners. It's basically a club for people who like Tatawahe. You pay, like, how much do we pay per year?
Usually it's like $150, $155 for the membership, but then you get a membership kit that basically more than makes up the money that you spend on it. But it allows you access to the forum, the Saints and Sinners forum, where once again it's kind of like the Brothers of the Leaf forum, where you can do a lot of interaction with your fellow community. That community tends to be focused once again like on Tatawahe stuff, but they also talk about a lot of boutiques.
They talk a lot of other stuff.
And the cool thing is too is that you get cool updates and advance notice on things like the Monsters release and where they're going to be at. So usually, like when people are getting flooded with phone calls for the Monster release, that's SNS guys who found out about it the day before it came out. So then they just start hounding the guys that are getting them. It's a fun group. I've been a part of it a couple years now, and Mel has been interacting on it. Well, through my account last year, quite a bit, but then she also got into it this year. I tried to keep her out, but somebody else let her in. So
okay, SOTL.
Which is what, Melanie?
Sisters of the Leaf. Okay.
Yeah.
We don't have a forum, we just use the hashtag. And then what does HERF mean?
That's a good question. HERF you see all the time, and HERF just means kind of like a hangout. Like basically where a bunch of guys are getting together, smoking, chilling, relaxing.
Hanging out. Okay, what does a bomb mean?
When you bomb someone, and this happens a lot, especially in the forums, even like the Reddit forum, all those guys like interact, SNS, BOTL. Basically, it's this one cigar guy giving another cigar guy a package of cigars to check out.
Yeah, and surprising them with it. You don't have to bomb somebody back, but it's nice to do so. Yeah,
and usually they're like things that, you know, that you guys are both excited about that you can't find most places, and it's just a really cool way to do it. We've gotten some really cool bombs in the past, that's for sure, and hopefully we've given out some cool ones too over time.
Yeah, you can't always you can't always reciprocate, but you try to.
Yep.
All right. Here, you read that.
All right. Dear Melanie, why don't you post pictures of your cigars and your feet anymore? Or are you smoking cigars that are big ring gauges? Oh. You have mentioned that you get a lot of requests. Yours truly, Feet Fascinations and Foot Fetish Frank.
Okay, so I get a lot of requests. Is that Alexa again?
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
Alexa.
Take a look at the help section.
You gotta add her.
She's having a hard time connecting to the internet. I tried to help finding her earlier, and she won't show herself, so that's her fault.
So people, this is like one of my #1 requests.
Foot shots?
Yes, and I have like the ugliest feet. I hate my feet. I don't want to take pictures of my feet. End of story.
It's pretty funny.
It's so weird. Yeah, and until that guy sent me the grossest thing, I don't want to send more pictures of my feet. I have to block people like all the time.
It happens to a lot of the girls. Thankfully, as guys, I don't really get all that weirdness, which is nice. But I do, once again, want to affirm that this is the Melanie and Anthony show, not because we're best friends, But because we're married,
pictures of your feet.
No. So anyway, yeah, a lot of guys are inappropriate, step over the line, and that's for sure. So Melanie doesn't do as many of those shots because...
And I dress pretty modest. So I get a lot less of those weird, like, requests now, especially that I set boundaries with people.
Yep.
I ignore stuff all the time, too.
But it's a good thing to, you know, reaffirm to all the other Lolas and Sisters of the Leap out there. If you're doing an Instagram feed, like, put them on blast, put them on shout. You don't have to do that for the guys. Like, just smoking and being a part of the community, it should be plenty, you know, sexy enough or,
and
like,
you can take
awesome
great pictures and be modest, or don't be modest, but just be you and still be cute.
Yep.
Or not. You don't even have to look cute and be a Sisters of the Leaf. You just be you.
You be you.
Yeah. Dear Master Anthony, I have many questions to ask my idol. I look forward to seeing what you smoke every day. Why don't you smoke flavored cigars? Are flavored cigars only for girls? What flavored cigars can men smoke? Do you like Gurkha? From Flavored Loving Faith.
You know, we should definitely do a show on flavored cigars. There's a huge audience for flavored cigars.
There is.
And we definitely sell a lot of them. You know, they're not my go-to because I kind of don't really have necessarily a straight go-to. I rotate around all the time. I mean, Mel or anybody at the shop can testify to that.
Wait, flavored cigars or any cigars?
Any cigars in general. So me fixating on one flavored one would be highly unusual.
You smoke flavored cigars?
I do. Anytime we get like a brand new one, and like we got the foundation ones in, and I tried the different lines that we brought in on it. I wanted to see what they're about, and
I just can't do it.
That's okay.
I have a sensitive nose.
You're a snob.
I'm not a snob.
So flavoreds, what I will say about flavoreds is that, you know, they're great for different occasions. Like, one great example of this is that our friend Chris, not a flavored guy on any level, but the small axe from Foundation brings him back to like the smells and the aromas of being a high schooler in California in the 1970s, going to the beach and all that. So when he's out,
he was a high schooler in the 70s. I think he was a high schooler in the 80s. Maybe not. Okay,
oh, maybe it was the 80s. I don't know.
He's
anyway,
not that old.
He's not that old. 80s probably.
Yeah.
I probably just really dated him.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chris. Anyway, he when he cleans his pool on the weekends, he likes to smoke the small axe.
And he like plays
He plays like Bob Marley or different things like that, just to kind of get in the state of mind of it. But his whole point is that he enjoys them for that occasion. And a lot of cigar smoking is about the occasion and about the environment. So for me, like, I enjoy trying them every once in a while and seeing what they're about, if they're good, high quality. Even if they're not high quality, I still like to give them at least a shot, at least to kind of get a baseline for what it is. But there's some really good ones. I think that answers the question.
Do you like Gurkha?
Oh, Gurkha?
I've had an old Gurkha that was really good.
Yeah, like in the olden days, I used to smoke a lot of it, like a long time ago. And there are some things that I'd say still have some consistency. I'd say my hard thing about Gurkha is that they're one of the brands that seems to come out with a solid blend, and then over time, as it gains traction and popularity, it seems like the quality isn't always there. I digress.
All right, moving on.
Is this our last one?
Yeah.
Last question of fan mail. Anthony and Melanie, if your last name is Cantomo, why on God's green earth is your cigar shop called Ford on 5th, not Cantomo on 5th? Is it even located on 5th? How can we trust you? From Confused and Trustless. Well, Confused and Trustless, let's help clarify that. Do you want to take this one? Or you want me to?
We'll both share. I'm kind of tired today.
Oh, okay. So
I had a busy night last night.
She had a drunken night last night.
Stop
That's what
it.
she meant to say. She was drunky. Anyway, Ford on 5th. The store was Ford on Hague, and it is the oldest.
No, not Ford on Hague. Oh,
Ford
that's funny.
and-
I'm sure he was on Hague at one point because they were married.
Ford and Hague. It's the oldest tobacco shop in Arizona, which is really cool. That's one of the things that we've loved about it. It's one of the reasons why I was real passionate about securing it and making sure it continued on, was because of history there. There's a lot of history. And the story as it goes, whether there is full truth to it or just some, fanciful, historical inaccuracies, is that it was started by John Ford, the famous movie director, and his wife, who had some sort of, I don't know if her maiden name was Haig or
something like that.
Something like that. So essentially that's why it's called Ford and Haig. It's gone through numerous owners. About 4 other owners before us, and we would have loved to have kept it Ford and Haig, but the prior owner and the way he exited, he wasn't too hot to trot on letting us take that name, so we had to keep an element of it, but also kind of change it. So we like to say that it's both historical and geographical now. Ford, of course, is a historical element of what it's been for a long time. And Fifth is the actual avenue that we're located on, so the geographical element. So we got a little bit of Ford on Fifth. If we ever did another shop, I don't know if we'd call it Ford on Fifth or if we would just find different ways to use the word Ford in it just to have fun.
Like Ford Cigars or something.
Yeah, Ford Cigars or Ford North or Ford South or Ford West or whatever.
I don't know if you want to do that.
I don't know. We're just playing around with it. It's not like it's in our immediate plans, but it's one of those things that
keep the history.
Yeah, we want to keep the history intact. We're proud of the history of it. We put it in the website. We put it into a lot of the elements we talk about. So that is why it's not Kentelmo on Fifth or Kentelmo's Cigar Shop.
That'd be so lame.
Or people like to call it Melanie's. Melanie would like to call it Melanie's. But it's a really ridiculous name. Not strong at all.
Yeah, Melanie's Cigar Shop.
I'm going down to Melanie's later today and having a cigar with Melanie. Never gonna happen.
People say that. Oh, it's still called Ford on Fifth, but people say I'm coming to Melanie's.
Yeah, Daniel Lance says that. Daniel Lance does not count as a person that has a weight to it. So anyway, once
I'm
again,
gonna put pictures at the end of this of me and Daniel just so you can see how important he is.
I'm gonna put pictures of me and Daniel to show you how not important this is. Alright guys, that was some fan mail. So keep on sending in fan mail, whether it be comments below.
Send us fan mail.
Or these great letters that clearly came in the mail to us. So, once again, this is Anthony.
And Melanie.
And we are Ford on Fifth. You can find us at FordOnFifth.com or at ftb.melanie on Instagram.
Yeah.
Or ftb_Anthony on Instagram. Or at Ford on Fifth on Instagram.
Why would you do underscore? I mean, seriously.
It separates it out. It makes it look like 2 different things.
I like the dot.
Yeah.
I thought that was dumb.
I thought it was dumb.
Underscore, I think, is way dumb.
Underscore is what all the cool kids do.
Dot's what the cool kids do.
Anyway.
He just is jealous. He can never be me.
Alright. Well, next time. Till next time.
Bye.
We'll see you. What? Ow!